Word.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the zoo. I'm the Rusty Panda, and I am here for you. Today it's Wiki Wednesday, and we've got CaptainErock up in the corner here.
Hello, that's me. Hi, I'm here in the corner. Nobody puts E-Rock in the corner except the Rusty Panda.
I
So thank
do.
you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this light is gonna drive me insane. I look so bleached out. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, we piled together some likes and dislikes, and we put them all together, stirred them in a pot, and we got this stew.
Oh boy.
A stew of stuff. A stew of stuffy stuff. So the first thing that I put up on the agenda, which was sort of on your list, was Dungeons and Dragons, because that's something that we do together. And so tell me how you ended up getting into Dungeons and Dragons. Like how'd that spark your fancy?
Ooh, let's do a Wayback Machine. My first experience with Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's go way back.
I'm ready.
This would be junior high E-Rock. Junior high times, and not high though, but junior. Nonetheless. So yeah, there was the weird kid on the block that did D&D stuff. So he was anxious to play D&D, and I went over to his house, and the story is that his mom and my mom worked together, but he was super weird, so I kind of got forced into going to hang out and try to play with this kid. And so we did, and he had D&D stuff, and he was trying to tell me what it was, and boy, if I could try to encapsulate what I thought D&D was based off of that, it was not cool. So like we're just like doing stuff as kids do, and we ended up in the garage fighting each other with rakes. So I stayed away from it for a long time. And so not until like a couple of years ago, I guess. Man, I would have to blame I'd have to blame probably Socket Monk for the D&D fix, I suppose. Yeah.
And how so? What did he do?
Well, he started running campaigns, and I joined one. And well, actually, it's Hope. It was Hope that ran that one. So he was running them, and Hope was running one. I think that was the first one I dove into, really.
And then what were your specialties? Like, what were you?
Really bad at it is what I was.
I meant like rogue or like.
So yeah, that was the one I played the most before the one we were currently in together was a bugbear ranger. So yeah.
Bugbear?
Yeah, Scrom, and played that with a few people we know, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, you said bugbear?
Mm-hmm.
What's a bugbear?
Look it up.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh.
Maybe add D&D to it instead of getting butts.
So it's a legendary creeper or hobgoblin.
Yes.
Comparable to the boogeyman and other creatures of folklore.
That's exactly what my character looked like, and always had a naked lady with him.
Okay. See, also Moss People, Sprite, Worry Cow, and Yokai. So it sounds like this is exactly what it is.
Yeah. So they're monster style character, but I mean, it's your imagination is what it is, or whatever, made it a character.
Let's I don't know what this is. Bugbear Entertainment and Bugbear Album. So that's a legendary creature comparable to the boogeyman. That's basically what it's saying the definition is. But I'm curious. I might Google now. Bugbear D&D.
There you go.
All right. Bugbears are hairy goblinoids born from battle and mayhem. I know you can't really see it because of the way it's
there you go.
But they survive by raiding and hunting, but are fond of setting ambushes, of fleeing when outmatched.
Yeah.
Or this.
I was a little more civilized than your average bugbear.
Yeah.
this
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 picture.
miniature.
Let's get off of this. Let's
Yeah,
go back to
hard left. No.
yeah, hard left. All right, let's come back to this. So yeah, Galvos.
Let's see. This whole list, by the way, is how can I get Panda to bring up butts?
Let's do it. Dungeons and Dragons. All right, so for those of you who don't know, there's a system of basically rolling dice on character sheets, and with your character sheet, you have a dungeon master or a DM who will go ahead and kind of drive the story as you go through some sort of story situation and act as your character and what your character would be doing. But fate is by rolling the die. And I'm really good at rolling ones in our campaign. Like, you can count on me to roll a 1 or a 20 and nothing in between.
Makes for story.
Exactly. Makes for story. Makes for me feeling like crap because I ruined my team. I feel bad. But then again, I get 20s and then I'm celebrated. So, again, you're right. It drives the story. But yeah, so if anyone's ever played Dungeons & Dragons or they're definitely interested in it, I definitely tell you to look it up. It's something that's super fun and super interactive, and great to do with your friends. Now, how does that lead into other TTRPGs?
No, TTRPGs just in general. There was some drama around D&D recently with kind of paywall stuff coming up, but they've kind of backed down on that. So hopefully it's still, cool going forward. It seems they've kind of backed off of that stance, and the community kind of jumped up and said what they're going to say about it. So there's other platforms out there too. So Pathfinder, and there's all kinds of systems that run like Dungeons and Dragons, just a little bit different rules, different like races and themes. So Pathfinders is one of them. But there's themed ones like Cyberpunk and The Witcher, and there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of different storylines, I guess. So, 4th edition got a reputation, which it didn't necessarily deserve, for being too focused on miniatures and grids, too mechanical. Meanwhile, the company that owns D&D has released a bunch of old material for free as a series of fans, and some of that built into completing the game Pathfinder. So, yeah. Interesting. D&D seems pretty wildly different from the earlier versions I played in the 70s and 80s. Infozar, I can see you playing that. I can see you destroying Dungeons & Dragons with your awesomeness. I mean, you're a magician. You could just be like, I have special powers. I will never not sing that. Okay, so that leads to I'm curious then. So you're talking about tabletop type games, but do you play other, like, do you have house games in your house that you play when company comes over?
Not really, not in a while. So like, it's obviously like pandemic times and stuff, but like not so much anymore. I kind of wish I had that kind of a group around here, but all my real life friends have kind of spread out, over a few different states. So like,
right.
Yeah, when we get together, it's things like camping or
you said the secret word.
Airbnbs and stuff, but we're in a Dungeons and Dragons thing together.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And that's pretty fun.
You mentioned camping. You said the secret word. Let's talk about camping.
I love camping.
Yes.
Like it's a lot of fun. I think like, so a lot of things we're going to talk about today are things that I've enjoyed in my life that maybe I don't still do. Okay. So are still partake in, like, but I'm happy that it was part of my life.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Sure. So tell me some camping stories. So
geez. So we have a yearly camping trip with my friends. So that's like something I always look forward to. Is a big group of my friends. There's about 10 to 12 of us that get together and just do a camping trip somewhere. And so we've been pretty much all over Michigan and Indiana, and that's about it. Mostly
Okay.
Michigan. There's a lot of good camping places in Michigan, so to be fair. So
And tell me, what are some good fireside stories that have occurred?
oh, fireside. Okay, so myself and Jason are always the last two up, and it's like a standoff. It's like the north going Zach and the south going Zach. So we're the last two. Totally had too much to imbibe, and so we were sitting at the fire, and our feet are up on the fire like pit, because it's one of those big pits with the cement and the thing. It's like solely not a fire pit you'd want to hang out in, but they're trying to be super safe and not burn the whole place down. Anyways, we're sitting there, and a skunk just kind of went under our legs, and that was a little stressful, to say the least, and kind of hung out for a while. And we just looked at each other and didn't say a damn thing. And we didn't move, and it felt like eternity. It was probably like 4 minutes, but I think it was at least an hour.
Oh my gosh.
With a skunk under our legs, like just trying not to scare the damn thing to spray us.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
But I think it's like, so a lot of campground area critters have kind of become almost domesticated. I don't think we were really in danger of being sprayed. I think that skunk knew what it was in for.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but I didn't know that then. Also, a lot of beverages had happened, so.
Right, and especially it feeling like an eternity. I'm curious if there's probably different types of skunk.
Oh.
So I'm curious as far as domesticated. There was ones that said skunks as pets. I want to see.
Yeah. A neighbor of my dad's, they had a domesticated skunk, distinct skunk. They're really cool. They have to get I think they have to get both like cat and dog shots or something.
Partly due to restrictive laws and the complexity of their care, they're mainly kept in the U.S., Canada, Germany, Netherlands, Poland, and Italy. Pet skunks can be purchased from licensed animal shelters or breeders with a permit from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's. Baby skunk availability peaks during springtime. Okay, I don't care about. Come on. Skunks are best known for their ability to foul spray. There's
a lot of them around here.
Yeah, their glands are usually removed in pet skunks in about 4 weeks of age. Since 2006, this removal practice has been illegal in the UK.
They dig little holes in the ground and they eat the grubs out of our backyard.
I mean, yeah.
And thankfully, they haven't sprayed my dogs yet, so.
Yeah, that would be something to look out for sure.
It's inevitable, but hopefully we can get through it. hopefully I make enough noise for the skunk to leave before they come out.
Right. So. And so your dogs, what are the breeds of your dogs?
Oh, I have a yellow lab.
Okay. Labrador Retriever. Okay, so are we talking like super floof?
No, that would be like no, he's just shorter haired. So there's the Labrador Retriever, and then there's what's the other one with longer hair?
Golden Retriever.
Golden Retriever, yeah. Okay. This is Labrador Retriever, shorter hair.
Got it.
Yep, he's a yellow one.
So cute. How long have you had him?
He's gonna be 12 at the end of May, and yeah, he's showing his age. He's still trucking though. He's still happy, but. Aww. Yep.
And so, what about Hurley, or did we just talk about
Hurley?
Okay.
No, Hurley's a mix, so he's part husky, part sled dog, part rabbit and squirrel catcher. I don't know what that is, but he's fast.
I typed in husky and it said Husky, Missouri. Listen. I know you know where I live.
Husky rapper.
Yeah.
So he's got the facial, like the pattern of fur looks husky like, and his tail is fluffy like a husky, but he's not very fluffy. So
okay.
His hair lays more flat, and so he's got like the similar. He's brown and white, But yeah.
Trying to see. Yeah, so you've got the really long-haired one, the Siberian Huskies, and then you've got Alaskan Huskies, which are, and then Labrador ones.
See if they're sled dogs. If they're a whole,
Yes.
I don't know that they're a whole breed or not. I think they're
They're
mixed.
distinguished of their hardiness and in contrast to modern sprint sled dogs. So let's see if sled dogs. Yes. It's also a film. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
Trained to pull land. Sled dogs have been in the Arctic for at least 8,000 years. Russia, Greenland, North America. I'm trying to find a picture, like a good picture. That's a human.
I think they're mostly mixed, so that's the challenge too. Yeah, that's his shape right there. But so I think sled dog plus a husky together, that's 100% his shape. Longer neck like that,
Yeah.
and really thin near his hind legs.
Interesting. And so
Built for speed.
How long have you had him?
So, when did we pick him? When did we get him? So he was a few years after Sawyer. It's probably 4 years after Sawyer. He's about 8, I think. So we rescued him.
Okay. So let me
A Slusky.
That sounds like a drink.
Yeah. I'll take 2.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. All right. So you've got your dogs, and now, how many pets did you have as a kid?
We always had like something. So let's see, kindergarten ages. I had a calico cat named Peanut. I mean my cat, but not really my cat. Right. You know what I mean? But they framed it as my cat, you know.
Your responsibility, your cat.
Let's see, growing up. Let's see. After the cat, we had moved, and then Muppet was the other dog.
That's cute.
Muppet was like it was a mixed dog, kind of like some kind of a spaniel and something else. But Muppet had issues peeing on bedposts.
Ooh.
Yeah. Marking territory.
Yeah. Yeah, you have
to made for
one of those
stressful times.
Beds.
Yeah.
Just basically the
floating bed.
Yeah, the what do they call that underneath the bed? The bed frame or whatever. And just that on the floor with the box spring. Put the box spring on the floor and then the mattress on top, and that way you have no posts. I mean, it's not going to look great, but at least he won't pee on it.
That's a pretty good dog. Other than that, though.
Yeah.
And then my sister had like a poodle named Cuddles. And my sister had a few different dogs, and yeah.
Now, were you living in the house and they were your sister's dogs, or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And are you and your sister close, or you got a good family, or?
Yeah. So I have several sisters. So I have my older sister, and then my parents got divorced, and both got remarried. So then each one of them had kids as well. So my mom had another girl, Brittany, and she's like 8 years younger than me. And then my dad and stepmom, they had 2, Crystal and Karen. So.
Oh my gosh! So you're the only boy?
Yeah, 4 sisters.
Wow. How was that?
It was fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
All
right.
Yeah.
Now, what so my brother was really big into music, and so therefore I was really big into music. What are some of
sister was too. Yeah.
What are some of the influences you got from your sister?
Sure. So my sister was very into Prince. Like,
yes.
Like I know way more about Prince than I need to know. Like, his birthday is June 7th, by the way.
I was born the same year my dad was.
And yeah, unfortunately he's passed, rest in peace. But he's really fantastic. I mean, he didn't want Weird Al to fun on his music, but He's an artist. There's a cool video with him playing was it I think it was a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee ceremony thing. I forget. He was playing like Along the Watchtower or something. It's really just fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
it's like classic Prince.
Referred to as the artist formerly known as Prince, or the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just this symbol here.
So yeah, she painted a mural on her wall. It was like the lips and the eye thing. I don't know if it's from one of his albums or something, but like when you walk along our road, you could see it through her windows, like just an eyeball. It was kind of cool.
That's fantastic. Pretty cool. Yeah. So
also she had a CD player pretty early, like the 80s. And so I was able to record some music on the cassette tape.
Yes.
And so that's where I got like my Beastie Boys album, License to Ill.
Okay, let me look that up. Yeah, License to Ill. Got it. So released in 1986. And
I didn't know what a porno mag was at the time, so I sang Pawn a Mat, like a pawn shop.
Pawn a Mat, okay.
Like a floor mat, because I had no idea what the hell it was, but I sang it.
Yeah.
And I got giggled at for sure.
Oh, see, this comes out. You Gotta Fight for Your Right, Brass Monkey, and No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I mean, those are like number ones right there.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
Album. That's a solid album. Do you have albums that you think that are just solid? Like there's good songs, but there's some that just have like pretty much every song on it. It's like
there were a few albums that like okay, so you're gonna crack up because it's so relatable to you and I, but the Genesis Way We Walk album is flawless to me.
Just as I thought this was going all right.
Exactly.
I found out I'm wrong.
You're doing great, E-Rock. Look at you learning. Right. It's always a shame. Oh no, it's always the same. It's just the shame. That's all.
Oh, that is all.
Yeah, Galvez loves Modest Mouse, so the Moon in Antarctica. I thought there was a Jimmy Eat World album that was phenomenal. A lot of my emo albums that I listened to front and back were solid albums. But yeah.
Yeah, so she had some bands like she had a tape for like she had some like Depeche Mode. So some of those have influenced some of my likes in music, like Depeche Mode and like I remember a Nitzer Ebb cassette that was fantastic, and that's kind of that was probably the catalyst for me to get into electronic and industrial music.
And say that band name again.
Nitzer Ebb, Nitzer space EBB.
Got it. British EBM.
Nitzer Ebb.
Ebb, is it EDM? What am I saying?
EBM.
I know, but it said British EBM band. Okay, I didn't know what EBM was. I was thinking about EDM, but I don't know what EBM is. Let's see. Electronic body music.
Yes, it's very beat heavy, and they're a little more. This band is a little more chanty. They even have a song called like "Join in the Chant," so it's just kind of music moving, and yeah.
International Success, Disbandment, 1987 and
The
1955.
I've seen them. I saw there's a bunch of listed stuff here. I saw Killing Joke. That was just we scrolled past a minute ago.
Coming back up. So Industrial Rock CBM scenes, the Chicago House.
I see Bauhaus.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So they have a reunion, and they're back. Are you the type of person that would go see them if they were around, or?
I've seen them recently. I've seen them. I think they were at Cold Waves, so in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Fixmer McCarthy. They do side project stuff, and yeah, they never really go away. They come back. They don't put out a lot of new stuff anymore, I don't think.
Right.
But
They still have the classics.
hmm
Okay, so let's see. They have several albums. Total Age, So Bright So Long, Belief. Yeah, they got a lot of good albums too. Oh, soundtracks: Grand Theft Auto, Saw 4, NCIS, Saw 6, Saw 7, Tony Hawk Ride. That's fantastic. That's
yeah, so
fantastic.
they kind of like got me into that genre. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
go ahead.
yeah, I've been to a bunch of shows
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, a lot of bands. I've seen a lot of bands live. So
What is the first and what is the last?
sure, the first was Lollapalooza '93. So that was the first band I saw live was Rage Against the Machine, and that tour had, oh geez, who was all on there? So Rage Against the Machine, Front 242, Tool, Primus, Alice in Chains, Dinosaur Jr., Fishbone, Arrested Development.
Wow.
I can't remember who else is there.
That was really impressive that you just like were literally named those like right off the top of your
Yeah.
head. I thought you were reading from the list.
I never got more sunburned in my life.
I bet. Yeah, we had a venue that was right behind our house that Warp Tour came through, and I'm talking like right behind our house, walkable.
Yeah, this was at the Milan Dragway in Michigan, and they ran out of water.
Oh
they ran
my
out of
God.
drinks. So they had to go bring in drinks, and we were drinking like this gross tea stuff because that's all they could source.
Right.
So
oh my gosh, yeah, Monster Energy was huge when I went to Warped Tour 04, and so everybody was getting a Monster or a Sobe water.
And so the first real concert after that was that opened the floodgates for me to go into shows was
right.
Stone Temple Pilots with Flaming Lips and Butthole Surfers.
Oh, you said Flaming Lips. Galvus is gonna chime in.
Saw them in '94.
Okay.
That was at the Pontiac Amphitheater, which is on top of a parking structure, which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that anymore. Like that's like the only show I saw there, but it was really cool.
So that's to 1990. This is signed to Warner Brothers 91 to 96. So opening for bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Candlebox.
Oh, Flaming Lips?
Yes.
Is that who you pulled up? Okay.
Yes. And
yeah, so this was their album where they don't use jelly. Or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Or any of these.
Yeah, She Don't Use Jelly.
She Don't Use Jelly, that's it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Popular television series of Beverly Hills, Late Show with David Letterman, Charmed, and Beavis and Butthead. You know you made it when you get on to Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Because that's incredible. That's what's worldwide. And I'm saying that sarcastically, but I'm not at the same time. Like, when you make it into mainstream cartoons and stuff.
Yeah. Well, back then, that's when MTV was watched.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And that's exactly what I meant.
At least for music, too. Yeah, because that's not what it is anymore. But
no, it's not. They now have a channel.
Ball, 120 minutes, like all the cool shows they had back then.
What was the morning MTV ones that I watched? There was a channel that was specifically about MTV in the morning, and there were no commercials, and it was just playback after playback of music videos. And I was like, this is life. Like, this is what it should be. This is Spotify. Yeah.
And for that show, the Flaming Lips were awesome. Stone Temple Pilots was awesome. Butthole Surfers, worst show I've ever seen live in my life.
Oh, yeah?
They were horrible.
Let's
it was
see.
awful.
Let me see. Yeah, they're in here. Butthole Surfers. Now, why were they so bad?
Like, I think it was their shtick of just sitting on lawn chairs and stuff. Like, they were so boring. It was so boring.
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds boring.
I think they were toasted too. Like they were either high as a kite or something, because it just was something was just wrong.
That makes
So
sense. Um, because they're punk band and the whole thing is not to give a damn.
sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm not. I I like them, but
That show in particular was not.
yeah.
Yeah. By the way, hi Panda, welcome in. Okay, so you've been to a lot of concerts. What's the most
Mhm.
recent concert?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think it was maybe the Cold Waves run, but I think I went to something else in. Man, I don't know what my last show was.
Okay, so is it obviously, well, not obviously. I mean, I've been to a show post pandemic, but have you been to a show post pandemic or is it all pre pandemic?
No, no. Yeah, no, I haven't.
It's weird.
Yeah. I'm not I'm not comfortable with that yet, so
It's definitely weird. There was a lot of spacing. I stood very far back by the bar. Like everybody was moshing and all that stuff, and I was like, no, like I'm gonna be back here by the bar. I'll enjoy the music live. What
yeah,
about
a couple
classic rock?
yeah. Um Not that much,
Yeah.
honestly. I kind of got into some of it like post-industrial phase stuff just to kind of like so like I didn't know much about Led Zeppelin, so I bought a whole bunch of Led Zeppelin and just listened to it, and it's really good. But like I don't know. It's just
Yeah. So
not
okay,
too
so
much classic stuff.
industrial, EDM,
So yeah,
EDM.
so like 16-volt 9 Inch Nails, Skinny Puppy, which I just missed a show for. I had offering of tickets to go see a show in, were they in Pittsburgh? I think so.
How
But
far is that from you?
that's a ways.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is like a long ways,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's
still.
just the money was not there for that. So
Yeah, I bet. Um, okay, so you've been naming a lot of bands,
yeah.
which is great. That's
Oh yeah.
oh, Puppy is
I've
great
seen
live.
Tori Amos in
Oh,
excess.
nice.
Let's see. I can just name a bunch of
Do
stuff. I
it.
saw
Brag, 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 brag.
Nirvana.
What?
Let's see. White Zombie. Kraftwerk. Can I just name a bunch of stuff? I don't
Please
know.
do it. Do
Uh,
it.
what else? Frontline Assembly. Uh, Lords of Acid. Rammstein. Uh,
I like the name Lords of Acid. That one is
yeah, I saw Kraftwerk twice. This top 10 concert. It's fantastic.
interesting.
Oh, Weird Al many times. They Might Be Giants. I'm trying to, and I'm like
No, that's
going through my
good.
head.
Yeah, it's like brag away. You've got an audience here that is very jealous of all the shows that you've been in. I can't believe you saw Nirvana. That is cool as shit.
Ministry, KMFDM, Sister Machine Gun, Chem Lab. I don't know. I could just
No, no, that's
that's
good.
hard to,
That's good. I'll give your brain a break. Um, but yeah. So okay, so you went to Lollapalooza, and then that kind of like opened the floodgates for more concerts.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I agree with Panda there too. Lords of Acid hit or miss too. And same with like some bands like My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult. Like it depends on what tour you get. Like, do they have a band or are they just gonna play from stuff and be drunk? Um
Oh, yeah. I guess is that like a scene thing? Like
it's it's a they My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult thing. So like you have to know what tour you're going to for that. Like, is it
got
going to be
it.
good or is it going to be they're playing from whatever and just singing to it? I don't know. It's crazy.
Metallica is great too. So how do you feel about Metallica?
Metallica's fine. Black Album, like I don't know. I'm not that into metal.
That's fair.
I like it far good enough, but I don't like. I'm not a metalhead.
Yeah, and I know you've got music range from all over. Like you really have a very broad range that isn't. I mean, you even know like current pop. Not all of it, but I'll see you and you'll be like sing something from like I don't know, like Britney Spears or something like
Mhm.
that, and I'll be like, I didn't know that he knew that song. Like,
Anything recent though would be because I watched a TikTok. Everything else would be uh I don't know. It's anything post 2008 I think is going to be tough.
Yeah, that's fair. I know that Galvos and I listen to Spotify, and some of the stuff is really old, and then we'll be like,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, we love this band," and that they're not touring anymore because they broke up. But we're like, "Oh, okay, we're not up on the new
Mhm.
music."
Yeah,
um, Go ahead.
Ween's great. Yeah. Ween's interesting. One of the Ween shows was one of the there was like a crazy mosh pit for it. It was so crazy. Like I don't even know how to explain it. And then the next tour we go and it's the one that was country themed and they had all these country artists with them playing like steel guitar and stuff. And that was a wild tour. That was a good memory.
Was it? How was it?
It was awesome.
Okay, cool. Because I figured
So
that at that point some things can go wrong when you try to blend country
no,
and.
it was great. Yeah, I loved it. I was glad they didn't stick with that, but I loved it.
That's
Try
great.
stuff.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
mashup is definitely something to see live for sure. Um, okay, so what else? What other influences did you get from your sisters or your family or along those
Mm,
lines?
that's I would think family influence. I think probably my older sister was the only one that probably influenced me with things that I like along those lines for sure.
So where does inline skating come in?
Oh, just like yeah. So that's there's some good paths around here, like rail trail kind of thing where you can like it's good for walking and biking and I did a lot of inline skating like just out of high school. Like I that was my pastime. That was my exercise. I would just get out and rail trail it pretty much every night for a long time.
So did you do like tricks and stuff, or was it just
No,
mainly
just did it to get around and get out there and yeah. Was
how
that
is it different from a skateboard?
because they're tied to your feet on I don't know. Like
No, no, I just meant
I
as
don't
far as like
skateboard.
you don't skateboard.
No.
So I was just trying to think about moving around and when inline skating, like what the early '90s, right? Late '80s.
Well, it was I got inline skates because I liked hockey. So like I wanted to be able to turn around like they do in hockey. So
Okay.
that's why I did inline skates.
Did you ever do ice skating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What in specific like for hockey specifically, or did you?
No, just to skate, but I wanted to learn to skate to play hockey, but I never did play hockey. So there
And
wasn't a lot of that around here. They built a rink around here, like just kind of, I don't know. It was a little late for me to like actually learn, I think.
understood. So let me see. The earliest skating happened in southern Finland more than 4,000 years ago. So modern skates have stayed largely the same since then, although greatly in details, particularly the method of binding the shape and constructing the steel beams. I can't imagine just being on a shoe with a line underneath it. Like now ice skates
Hmm.
have support for your ankles and all that stuff, but like that was literally like a line under your shoe.
It's crazy how skates work too. The actual the the metal underneath melts the top ice a little bit
Mhm.
for you to propel. Otherwise, if the ice is too cold, you can't skate.
Really?
Yeah.
So they can literally have too cold of a rink.
Well, you're not going to have that in a rink, but like, you know, north bazillion below zero ice, you potentially would not be able to skate on that.
Got it. So, okay, medieval bone skates. That's really cool. To be able to have leather straps and a bone and just be able to get across. And then these are the ones that I was talking about that go right under your shoe. Like I could
Oh,
do
wow.
like moose tracks and that but I could never do like an attachment to my shoe that makes it so that I can ice skate. Um so explain to me where hockey comes in.
Um, I was never that big into sports, like in general. Like, I'm not a big sports person, but for whatever reason, in the early '90s, I said, "What the heck?" and just started watching a couple Red Wings games. And then I had some coworkers that like also watched the game, so I guess I blame my coworkers that. So it was something to talk about coworkers with, and
Okay.
I just started to learn about it, and it was I saw fights and like they're doing all this stuff on ice that I'm not able to do, and it was super interesting.
That's fantastic. And yeah, so have you what underwater hockey? What?
Floor hockey, yeah,
That's insanity.
butts.
Oh, see, we're back to butts
See,
again.
yeah,
It all comes back to butts. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's some more butts.
gotta
Now,
get good thumbnails.
yeah, exactly. Now they're going on roller skates. No, yes. Are they
More of a floor hockey, probably. So
right? Um,
roller
there's
hockey, I don't know.
roller blades and roller skates. Skates are four, blades are
Hmm.
four side like in front of each other. Yes. Okay. I was just trying to get my
Hmm.
bearings. I didn't want to call them the wrong thing. So what? That's crazy. Para ice hockey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look what he's on.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love what they're able to do.
Heck yeah.
You know what
I
I
just
mean?
watched a video of a dude skiing on a cool lift thing. You know, no legs, is able to ski. I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I love accessibility and technology like that to allow people to do things.
100%.
Fantastic.
Um, so what's well, let's just stop real quick. I'm curious how old it is. So, 4,000-year-old carvings feature teams with sticks and a projectile. Hurling dates back to 1272 BC in Ireland. The game they called, I'm not pronouncing that, because it
Mm.
was played with the horn like stick. And then Mongolia have been playing Byokyu, a game similar to modern field hockey, for about 1,000 years. So it's been around for like a really long time. And I guess in the beginning you just have sticks, right? So it makes sense how hockey kind of formed, where like, oh hey, I've got a stick, and here's a
Mm-hmm.
coconut. Like, let's figure out how that works. Um, but as far as I don't know, I feel like it's a natural sport, natural progression. But I don't get how it turned into ice hockey.
It gets cold up north. So like, what are they gonna do with their pond? They figured out they could skate on it, I suppose. So
That makes sense. I'll go with that because that makes a lot of sense to me. Um, okay, so we've talked a little bit about some dogs and concerts,
mm-hmm.
inline skating. Hi, Sark. Camping. Now let's talk about wildlife. So you had put down birds.
Yeah, I guess I could have talked about this when we were talking about pet stuff, but growing up I had a bird, which is had a cockatiel for like 16 years, which is a lot of years, you know. And they're very needy birds. Yeah, that's the one right there. And it looked just like that. And its name was King, but it was a queen, so like it was not properly named. Birds are very hard to sex when you get them. So yeah.
So what you put this on your list? So why what is
I don't
what?
know, just a journey through Erock's life. 16 years of my life, I had a bird, and I got him because I wanted to teach it how to talk or sing, and like it didn't either. So
No, it didn't.
nope, never.
Oh
Not even
no.
no mimicry whatsoever. I tried so hard.
Oh my gosh. That's so
But they
sad.
get very attached. Don't jump into getting a bird unless you know what you're getting into. A lot of the parrot species live for like 50 years and stuff, so it's like a
Holy
lifelong
crap.
commitment.
Yeah, no joke. My aunt had a bunch of birds, and I never understood it. But I mean, they had like a, what would it be called? Like a bird sanctuary, but like, you know,
No,
if you have,
wow.
you have like an aquarium. What's a thing
Hmm.
of birds?
Um,
Is
I don't
there a
know.
thing of birds?
There's it's probably called something, right?
A flock of a feather stays together. I don't know.
Um,
An aviary,
yeah, there
aviary.
we
There
go.
we go. I knew there was a
Yeah,
word for it.
I was
Uh,
thinking apiary, but that's for bees.
close enough. They fly. It's close enough. Um, yeah, so she basically had an aviary in her house, and I would go in there, and they were just all talking
Wow.
all the time. And I was like, this is too much. My animals can't talk. Um, but that's so cute that you wanted it to talk. I would want
Oh
it.
yeah.
I would
Oh
want it
yeah.
to
Young
talk.
Erock tried so hard.
And did it just make the
Just
noises? Yeah, yeah. Oh wow.
yeah,
And
over
so
and
was
over.
that your bird or was that a
Oh, he
family
was
bird?
100%. Yep, I took care of him or her, and yeah, very attached. You leave the room, she starts screaming.
Oh
So
gosh.
she was out of the cage a lot.
Okay.
So we hung out a lot. I got through a lot of homework with that bird on my shoulder pooping on me.
Oh, that's darling. I was gonna
Yeah.
ask if it was out of its
I
cage.
had cool like old sweatshirts that I cut up. So I had like these sleeve things I put on my shirts that she sat on, and it went on that and not me.
That's smart. That's a good
Yeah.
tactic.
Yeah.
Eh, do what you want to do. You do what you got to do in order to make your pet comfortable and you comfortable.
But yeah, it's crazy when they go through a molting and like get new feathers. That was super interesting as a kid. And yeah, just gotta give them the right things for their gut health. Like they have to have a little bit of gravel with their food.
What?
Yeah, birds have to eat some like things to help them digest and not just seed.
So gravel?
Yep.
All right.
Not just straight up like small fine sand or
Right,
gravel,
right.
small things.
I'm
Yeah.
not thinking like rocks,
Not big
but
chunks of rock or anything. Yeah.
all right, breeding lifespan. Oh, that's all you're gonna give me. You're not gonna give me. You're not gonna give me other stuff to
Show me gravel.
right. Ding her. Good answer. Good answer. Okay. So, what I do you care? Like, would you get another one? Is my first
No,
question.
no way. Too much of a commitment. That's
Okay.
too much. Yeah.
Okay. And
Not at
then
not at my age either. Like, you know what I mean? I'm past the point of lifetime bird getting.
that makes
And
sense.
I don't think the lady would be into that either. So
And then as far as like a lot of people, they'll be like, I love bees, all bees, regardless of bees. Do you love all birds regardless of birds, or do you have like
yeah,
crows?
I don't.
Crows freak me out and I don't like crows.
No,
Like,
I don't. I can't think of. Yeah, birds are cool.
awesome. Because I was thinking about the crow. Is it the crows? Silent? No, not Silence of the Crows. Panda. Come on. The movie. Oh, the
Silence of the
birds.
Lambs.
No, what's the movie
Hmm.
about the birds? Is it just
Hmm.
called The Birds? The Birds, the film by Alfred by Hitchcock. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just the bird. Oh, the birds. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking
Oh yeah.
about.
Don't watch that.
Yeah, that's how I think of birds. Like they scare me. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I just am scared of them because of this movie.
Yeah, around here there's as far my dad likes to bird watch. So there's like cockatiels and or not cockatiel. There's what cardinals. That's the word I was looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and blue jays and orioles and bunch of sparrows and all kinds of other things. But we do have some owls and bald eagles.
Okay. So yeah, Panda was bringing up seagulls. Have you ever been by a beach with seagulls or by
Yeah,
the...
seagulls suck. That's going on the dislike list.
Yeah.
You're right. You found one I don't like. There's probably a few others, but seagulls are awful.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I'm close enough to water that they'll fly by if like if you're grilling or something, they might get interested and hang around a little too long.
Oh
But
my gosh. It stole my mom's sandwich once. She was helping me as a baby, and she had her hand up in the air while she was helping me. She had a sandwich,
yeah.
and it just whoomp, took the sandwich right out of her hand. And to that day, she's told me that story 100 times, and I've never liked seagulls.
If you have your grill open, like they'll swoop down and take stuff off the grill.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, they go for it.
If you want to have some fun, play loops of Mockingbirds back at them, and they freak out.
That's great.
That's a good idea. Okay, so I'm on the birds here, so we're gonna segue.
What is it? Is it the kookaburra? Is it the one where that like mimics sounds and like so there's sounds happening by the birds that just I might not be kookaburras. It might be a kookaburra. I'm not sure, but they like mimic real life sounds and stuff. So like these sounds carry through these birds. It's not their real call, and like so these things just carry over time. And that it might not be a kookaburra. I might be thinking of something else.
What if it is a kookaburra? Then I need to know how to spell it.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell it either.
All right, so do you think it's a C or a K?
Mockingbirds just do that in urban areas. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure.
It's not even giving me an option. I suck at spelling. So anyway.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, I threw you under the bus on that.
No, you're fine. You're totally fine. All right, so talk to me about movies.
Okay, movies. I like them. You ever watch one?
I mean, maybe. Oh, Kookaburra. Here we go. Hold on. Let's go back a second.
Yeah, I don't know that they're the ones that mimic.
They're carnivores eating mice. The most social birds accept handouts to meat. They're territorial. The laughing kookaburra's call resembles human laughter, which is widely used in filmmaking, as well as Disney theme park attractions. They appear in several video games, and is noted for a distinctive high-pitched laugh. It's only one of 3 mascots chosen for the Summer Olympics in Sydney. So, I guess it's just its laugh that's people.
And it's fun to say.
Kookaburra.
It's not fun to spell.
No, it's terrible. I mean, I went with the C and it was K, so
I wouldn't have got anywhere close to that.
I was not close. So movies, you ever watch them, right? So
yeah.
What are you a movie like fanatic?
Not, I wouldn't say so much anymore. Like I feel like I've seen the plot of a lot of things, and now they just rehash everything. Like I feel like I'm getting senile about it a little bit. Like if you do something new and quit rebooting the same thing over and over, I'm interested. But yeah, I used to go to the movies quite a bit. Growing up, I lived near my buddy, and his mom would take us to the movies all the time. Like quite often. So yeah.
What so starting early, like what are
so like Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, I think was the first Star Wars movie I saw in the theater. I don't think we saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater. That was a little early. But that one I did see at the theater when it came out.
So this one is what number?
That's
also known as episode
6?
5. 6. I know my Roman numerals. It's fine. Okay, so 6. Return of the Jedi. So they run in movies of 3 and then 3. So that would be the third of the first set, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So that would be like the end one. And then you have
Well,
this next,
not anymore.
not anymore, but it was the end one, right?
Yeah,
I
this
have
is now the middle set of movies. Yeah.
I have never seen Star Wars, so
Really? Well, that's
yes.
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I know a lot about Star Wars because all my
Yeah,
friends are
you
into
can't
Star
avoid that
Wars.
stuff. Like I never seen
Absolutely.
Lion King, so yeah, I just learned. I know enough about Lion King that I could pretend I saw it.
Right. Context clues. That's all you need. Okay, so you saw Return of the Jedi in theaters. How is that in theaters? Like, how is that? Was that like
I
life
was
changing or?
I was pretty young. It was pretty awesome. The Ewoks were amazing. Not so much anymore, but as a kid, like that was great for a kid.
Right.
Like, they were freaking cute as f.
Absolutely. Let me see if I can find Ewok picture because I think no. What I'm thinking of? Oh, I'm in the Return of the Jedi. The Ewoks are the tiny little things, right? Or are they the big bear? Is
Yeah,
that the big bear
they're,
thing?
they're the little. Yeah, they're the tiny little
Which one am I?
bear things.
Chewbacca is what I'm thinking of. Okay,
Yeah, that's
that's the different thing.
the
Okay,
Wookiee.
the Wookiee. Come on, the Wookiee. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, highest grossing film in 1983. They're like little teddy bears with demented faces. I wonder if
Yeah, their faces are very pug-like.
you're not gonna
Sorry
give
if you
me.
have a pug.
That's weird. I typed
They
in
have squishy
Ewok.
faces.
I typed in Ewok, and not to be confused with Wookiee. Well, hold on.
Right.
Listen. It knows. I just want a freaking picture of one. There we go. Right there.
It's on the cover. Yeah. Yeah. And then there's these. There's two made-for-TV movies with the Ewoks, the Ewok Adventure, Caravan and Courage, and then I forget what the other one's called. There's two of them though. Oh, Battle for Endor is the other one.
Love Return of the Jedi as a child and not as an adult. How sad it is to grow old. How many Star Wars fans hang themselves when Rusty said the big bear thing. All right, listen.
Star Cruiser crash.
But yeah, they look super cute. They do look like Yorkies.
The Christmas special is rough. I have that on VHS somewhere.
Oh, that's like money. That's like good money if you have the Christmas special, especially on VHS, because they canceled it, right? Like they tried to make sure that it didn't exist anymore. Is that true?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, it's available on Internet Archive? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember for a while people were like, oh my god, the Christmas special isn't even, like, I can't find it.
So yeah.
Go ahead.
This was back in the day when like there's a lot of like cereal promotions and like TV advertisements really push kids to like want this stuff. And I mean, they still try to do that, right?
Yeah.
They always do. But so like I would get box tops from cereal so I could get the Emperor action figure. You know, that was super cool.
Yeah.
I remember like saving all those together and keeping it in an envelope thing and hoping that I could get it before the offer was over.
Oh gosh, yeah. Please send your in to 303 PO Box.
Yep.
And did those work? I've never done one.
Yeah, I got the Emperor. Well, I had the Emperor. Like I had a whole bunch of Star Wars toys and I moved a lot and I stored them at my uncle's mom's garage and she sold them in a rummage sale. I'm so mad.
Oh my god. I would freak out.
It would be worth. Somebody's made out big because that stuff would be worth so much right now.
Yeah. I got a Luke Skywalker and Stormtrooper armor from one.
Nice.
The only time I ever wanted to send something in was to this you probably might not know this, is to the TV show Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and so that was the only time that I remembered their address because it was in their song. And it was like, send it to Zoom, 62134, something like that. I don't remember what it is. 02134, send it to Zoom. So they got that in my brain, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be sending to Zoom, but I do know that I'm going to send them a letter that I want to be on their show. And so I did, and I never got anything back, but like, what do you send to Zoom? I don't know. They gave me their address. I'm going to send it to them. So movies. So you've seen the Star Wars.
Yeah.
And what about non-Star Wars franchise? Because you have sci-fi on here, so sci-fi movies are
Yeah.
going hand in hand. Um, Now we send work meetings there, kind of fitting.
Yeah. So, yeah, like a lot of comedy and sci-fi back in the day. So, like, your Goonies and oh man, there's a lot of good movies.
So,
It's that's a big topic. Uh, just trying to think of some that like Stand by Me or Big
oh, Stand By
or
Me. Oh my God, what a
yeah,
heart wrencher.
Goonies is such a classic.
So, what's your favorite part of Goonies? Why do you love this so much?
Um, every part of it, every part of that movie, the whole movie. I don't know. I know that's not giving you a good answer, but man, there's a lot of good things. This is our time. This is our time down here. Like, there's just a lot of cool characters, and then to bring it up, um, who's the actor that played Short Round in the Star Wars movie? Scroll up a little bit, please.
Sure.
Here, scroll down for the actors that are in this.
Corey Feldman,
Um,
Cary Green, Martha Plimpton.
yeah, Q Hui Kwan. He was just in what movie was he just in and got awards for stuff that he
Uh,
didn't. He got away from acting,
Indiana
and then, yeah,
Jones. Oh
yep,
no,
Indiana
he's
Jones
in
and the Goonies.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
I
So
recognize
like,
his freaking face.
yep. So he's from these movies, right? From this movie and Indiana Jones, and it's kind of cool to see him come back recently and
Yeah,
get awarded for that movie
he
as
was
well.
really good. Did you see that
Yeah,
movie?
I haven't. It's on my list to watch. So
Definitely. Again, I'm not a movie watcher at all, but I had a great time watching that movie for sure. All right, so I was looking at Goonies, and I was looking that their budget was 19 million, and they walked away with 125 million.
yeah, they did all
That's
right.
that's great. 1985 when that came out, so
Yeah,
almost 40. No, almost 40 years ago. Yeah, because it's 2023, so 38 years ago. Yeah, 38 years ago. Um, and it's still a classic.
yeah.
100%. Um, so you were saying the Goonies. You said one other one that I forgot. Stand By Me.
Oh yeah.
Whew. I mean,
Cries and old. Yeah, yeah. So I might be dating myself with some of this, but it's all right.
I mean,
Um, I
that's
watched
fine.
all these when they came out. So
Yeah. Corey Feldman is the kid who passed, right? Or no,
uh,
it's his brother.
no,
Who am I?
Feldman's he's doing music right now.
Is
It's
he?
not good music, but he's
River
doing music. River
Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah.
That's the one who passed. Yeah. Um, but yeah. So this one was like.
Yeah, Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Corey Feldman. Yeah. This was man, Leeches, you guys.
I didn't realize Will Wheaton
Train.
was in this.
Yes.
Which wait, so he's this boy?
Mm-hmm. The one pointing the gun.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Wheaton's first
Yeah.
big gig, yeah, because
Yeah.
I know that he was in Star Trek. Were you ever a Star Trek person?
Oh yeah. I didn't realize I was a Trekkie until like I had no more Star Trek to watch. I'm like, what do I do now?
What was your
So,
favorite Star Trek?
I have to say the Next Generation, but I liked I liked a lot of it. Next Generation, like I watched like as they released and like probably recorded some on VHS that I was gonna miss.
1987 to 1994.
I did that with Star Trek and X-Files. I had a lot of X-Files cassette or VHS tapes.
Wait, hold on. Let me do this real quick. X-Files. They came out in 1993 to May
Mm-hmm.
2002. Because I remember X-Files being really big throughout my childhood.
Watching it with no lights on, right?
Mm-hmm. And I never got to, like, fully understand what I was watching.
Yeah, so they did like some episodes were like story related, and then there's a lot of one-off episodes of just like we're going after this crazy monster of the week thing. They wrote it there. Yeah, 2/3 are monster of the week thing. So it's just like this crazy story. Um, man, there's some crazy ones too, but there's very little of it was actually a overarching story.
It was all just individual, kind of like Law and Order, right? Where you've got just individual stories and there's some overarching,
Yeah,
but
there's an
not really.
overarching story that takes a while to get to, and then there's a movie and stuff too, and
Right,
there's a
right.
couple movies. There's a
Um,
later movie that was a monster movie, right? A one
Millennium and
off.
the Lone Gunman. It says related, so I don't know. No, that's not related. It's
Hmm.
just by the same guy. I'm gonna say X Files film 1998.
Yeah, I think there's the 98 one, and then there was that one tied into the storyline stuff. And
Yeah.
then there's one they put out, I'm gonna say recently, but it probably wasn't that recently. That's just like a monster one.
Let me see. Going down. This the cast. That's a production, writing, set design, filming, media, box office, critical response, sequel. So it spawned a sequel in 2008. X Files, I Want to Believe, released 6 years after the series ended. It grossed
Hmm.
68 million and received a lower approval rating on Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes than the first film.
Yeah. Yeah.
No third. The invasion foretold within the series.
Stick to TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No film appeared. um,
Yeah.
yeah. See also extraterrestrial hypothesis.
Yeah.
So do you believe aliens are real?
100%.
Yeah.
Are they around here? No. They're
Yeah.
nowhere near. They're nowhere near us, but there's definitely alien life somewhere.
And the reason I'm asking that is
There's no UFOs here. There's no aliens here. There's no way. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
so
I just don't think so.
the reason I asked is because we're
Mhm.
gonna segue into No Man's Sky.
Yeah, we got to go out there to find them.
100%. So the what got you? Let's start with what got you into No Man's Sky, and we'll kind of
Yeah,
segue into like why is I. You told me you've said before that this is one of your favorite games.
it is. Yeah,
So
it definitely is.
go help me go into that.
Yeah, so No Man's Sky, was it 2016 release?
Yes.
Yeah, so No Man's Sky, yeah, I think PlayStation put some money behind it, and it just was a super promising thing. Sean Murray is the lead for that, and basically, like the interviews with Sean just kind of left your imagination open of what this game could be. So it wasn't always super clear what it was going to be at launch.
Mm-hmm.
And then before launch, the studio at Hello Games got flooded, and so they kind of had to go back and retool some of the stuff. I don't know if they recovered original coding or if they had to recode it or what, but PlayStation still wanted the game to come out when they said it was going to come out. So it came out in kind of a not super great place. It was a lot less than definitely what it is now, which is one of the greatest like comeback stories of video gaming. I can't think of another. There's probably a couple, but they turned this one around quite a bit, and they're still updating it.
Now,
And
did they ever call this one early access, or they just came out with it?
they launched it, and I still liked it. I still got the platinum trophy on PlayStation. It ran like crap on PC, so that was the one game that I refunded on Steam because it just that might that could have it's both my PC at the time was probably not the greatest, and it probably also wasn't optimized so great. So
Right. Right. So, um, where what is a platinum trophy? You said.
yeah, on PlayStation Network, yeah,
What does that mean?
it's like achievements on Xbox.
Okay.
That means I got at the time I got all the achievements
Achievements.
for it. Yeah.
That's oh wow, that's awesome. So I mean, you've played this game through and through
Yep.
multiple
Every step of
times.
the way, pretty much every update I came back for.
That's great. And is it always
There's like one smaller update I didn't jump back in, but they got into a pattern of releasing new content, so it's like I'll next update I'll come back into it.
now with naming stuff and it always be okay, so last time I had read something, somebody said that players were not thrilled that there were some overlap, like with different planets, like you saw some similarities between different animals and that there wasn't
Sure.
enough variation.
I mean, originally, like, or now, or just
Probably
in general.
both. I don't know. I think in general, I don't know.
Yeah, there's certain patterns to the creatures. You can kind of see like this is the head variant, you know, it's like super big, super small, or this shape or whatever. There's definitely certain themes with the critters.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while you run into some pretty randomized thing with those parameters that will catch your eye. So it's a lot there's a lot of the same with those creatures and stuff, but eventually once in a while you'll find something that's pretty rare.
If I had a co-pilot, like if I had somebody to fly the rocket for me, the ship is the word I was looking for. If I had somebody to fly the ship for me, then I would play that game like all the time, because
you get motion sick with the flying.
I'm impossible with it. I've tried on controller, I've tried on mouse and keyboard, and I just fly that thing into the ground every single time.
Yeah, I use controller for it. I don't like flying games with keyboard and mouse just in general, but
I'll keep trying because I love the game. I mean,
there's also third view, like there's first person view and then there's third person view, so that you might be able to change the view up.
I think that might help.
Yeah,
because just like looking at it, I see you guys go upside down and over, and you're going upside down over the. I'm like, how do you do this? You're blowing my mind.
Just a lot of hours in it. It's just become second nature when you play stuff like that, right?
Absolutely. So okay, so you have probably top 3 games. I know 2 of them. So no, I mean I know you have more than top 3, but
yeah, I never do this though. Like you can see my Steam play hours and probably get an idea of that, but
yeah,
this one would be pretty high on my list.
The games that you go back to, this one's definitely it.
Yeah, I am super excited for 1.0. It's like I keep a lot of what I do is like juggling my time. So like how much time do I invest in it now, or how do I just wait for 1.0? So like they always get me to come back for a little bit with each of their updates. Update 8's coming super soon if it's not already out. I think it's soon. But at this point I just kind of want 1.0 for it all to be real and for me to like not have to worry about changing things, even though after 8 I don't think too much is going to change with the world.
Yeah, satisfactorygame.com retrieved 2023 that the update number 7. So it doesn't say out, anything about 8.
Yeah, 8's soon. So 8 they're moving into Unreal Engine 5, and there's just a lot around Unreal Engine 5.
What do you like about this game?
Building. The creativity of building, doing things my way.
You seem to like survival type games. Is that true?
Yeah. I crazily enough, this is like a factory building game, even though you're not out like killing creatures mostly. There's a little bit of creatures in this one, but that's not what this game is.
Right.
It feels a little bit like that to me. So it's kind of like a build your base kind of thing, even though this one's more like build the products kind of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, it's a little more lax, a little more chill. Um, you know, you don't have to, unless you're trying to get slugs, and then there's
Hmm.
spiders and animals and all sorts of things that seem to find me somehow. I'll be running through the woods, and all of a sudden Galvus will be like, "Spider!" And he's
Oh,
like, "Are you near a
yeah.
cave?" And I'm like, "I'm not. How did it find me?"
There's some new designs on some of them that look pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm excited for 1.0 for sure. I love this game. And it actually runs on my computer. I can't stream it, but it runs on my computer, and
Hmm.
that makes me
Yeah,
happy.
yeah. Hopefully it does with Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, I hope so. Because this computer is old.
Hmm.
Okay, so Satisfactory, No Man's Sky. You had given
Yeah.
me a third one that I don't remember.
I mean, I put Farming Sim.
Farming
I'll just.
Simulator.
I'm not going to talk too long on Farming Sim. I put a lot of hours. Farming Sim is my. What is Farming Sim? So Farming Sim is my Animal Crossing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's my. When we hit the pandemic in 2019, like Animal Crossing was, I'm sure a lot of folks like, this is my chill and take your mind off things game. That's what Farming Simulator became to me now. So just kind of my chill zen game. And like I can still do a little bit. It's not a lot of building, but there's building. I can terraform. I can learn about all these crazy pieces of equipment that I never knew anything about before playing this. So
Yeah, I always thought that when Farming Sim first came out and Galvus was playing it, I was like, "You're riding a tractor? Like that's
yeah,
something you're interested
100%.
in?" And then he was like looking through the list of all the things you could buy, and I was like, "Holy crap! There's more than just John Deere." And then it got really interesting for me. I wanted to understand the culture a little bit more because there is
Yeah.
so much to it that I never knew.
Yeah, I never thought to try one of these games, and just that's the cool thing with gaming. So like you can do something maybe you're not super interested to try in real life either, but in a game form, you can potentially enjoy it. Like I've never watched soccer, but I played a FIFA game once and I had a lot of fun. I'm like, this is like crazy hockey. Like this is like big field hockey with more players, and I had fun with it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I love watching you play Farming Sim. You are so elated and in your element and zen.
yeah,
It's good
the
it's fun to watch.
it's got a huge mod community. So like almost every day throughout the week, there's new content coming out for it that you could potentially change, what you're doing in your playthrough, or in your playthrough is whatever you want your playthrough to be. I like to start with nothing and earn my way up, kind of a thing is my favorite way to play. But
So if I were to go to YouTube right now and type in Farmer Erock, or
yeah,
is it Captain Erock?
it's Farmer Erock.
So if
Yeah.
you look under Farmer Erock under
Hmm.
YouTube and you're
Yeah.
watching this, go check out Farmer Erock. It's super awesome content. I'm plugging it right now.
All right. I don't plug it enough. It's just a side thing I do. Like it's its own thing. Like I'm not pushing people there. Like it's a funnel for people to find me. So
I'm pushing people there, okay? Let me do
it's
it.
so I record some of my playthrough stuff, and it's time lapse format with some I don't know, mostly upbeat music. Sometimes I throw some country-ish music on there, but just kind of something to chill to have going if you're doing something.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely like, subscribe, and comment. Uh,
Yeah.
my my three
No,
least
it's
favorite
doing pretty
words.
well. It's doing pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. It's growing, and like I mostly just started focus at the start of this year on that channel, and just kind of like that's just where my farming content's going to live for the most part.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, I look forward to you submitting more content.
yeah,
Um so let's talk about how we met. So, that's not the Mixer that I wanted. Can we go to Mixer
Mm.
live streaming? Thank you.
Oh boy.
It's like, do you want a hand mixer? I'm like, I do, but not here. But okay, so looking for your hat.
Just looking for some, yeah, like some paraphernalia.
I was like, wait, what is he doing? And then I was like, I think
I
he's
was looking
looking
for
for
the
a hat.
mixer box because it just has some cool robots and stuff on it. And
I totally wish that I would have gotten one. I got into Mixer just a little too
yeah,
late. But yeah, let's talk about Mixer. Let's talk about how we met.
mixer was
So,
pretty cool.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd started streaming on Twitch, and it was pretty early on, affiliate days, and then I heard of this thing called Mixer, and I thought, hey, we'll give it a shot. There was just seemed like they had the FTL, and I don't know, just thought it'd be a cool place to grow. So I went to Mixer in 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Yes. Yeah, because it came out in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then shut down operation in 2020.
Yeah.
Which was such a terrible time to shut down, really. We all
Yeah.
needed it so bad, and
Yeah.
it was just like, you have to go to Twitch or Facebook gaming. And we're like, well,
Yeah,
I guess we're going to Twitch.
There's a lot of good people that worked for Mixer, and then just there's kind of one person in particular that drove into the ground. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we did the Mixer thing, and
Okay, so your content initially was video games and stuff. You started to do something called E-Rockapella.
Yeah, recorded our E-Rockapella songs live, and that's when times were a little less DMCAE. So I would do parody music, and not super profesh, but as good as I could do in the time allotted, and using Audacity to do it. Yeah, so yeah, I would record my E-Rockapella stuff live, and it was a lot of fun. And boy, the hearing like the early ones and then to what I can do now is just kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the day that I was at my cousin's house in Texas, and I don't remember how I was able to get my own song. Like, you needed a certain amount of channel points, or like something happened. What was the trigger?
Oh yeah, so back then there was so either the Embers, and there was the Ember leader would get a song in the month, and then well, all my mods would get one.
I wasn't a mod yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then there was the Spark leader as well, I think.
I think I was the Spark leader because
I think
there was
you might have saved a bunch of sparks and just.
It was like a total farce. It was the end of the month, and nobody had really put sparks in. And I was like, you know what? This is the time. I'm going to put sparks in because it's the last day of the month.
I have the note of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I took notes in a little journal somewhere. I have no idea where that is, but
yeah,
all the spark leaders were written down and Ember leaders. Yeah.
And I remember when it happened, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting my own song. And I was jumping up and down, and I wasn't even like talking the whole time. I just gave you information and a song that I wanted. And then I remember watching it on my phone of you going ahead and creating my song, and I was like, this is the best day of my life. Like
it was fun. It was fun. Now I just record them off stream though, because of reasons. Yeah, I can I do have the ability now though to not play the song on the stream. I think I could do it, but I could monitor the song, but that would be a weird experience, I think, viewing it, just hearing. I don't know. Maybe that'd be cool. We might give it a test run at some point.
Yeah, because I would love to have it come back. I think it's such a key influence of who you are, and I absolutely love it. So, let me see. So, what type of so you learned a lot of different types of music through all the people
Mm,
who were doing the spark leaders and all the mods and all that stuff. I would
mm,
assume that you learned a lot of different music. That it's like doing live learns as a music streamer.
mhm. Yeah, I did a few songs that I've never heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, parodies are generally protected. They can still, there's two types, there's two things that uh they hit you for, and they haven't hit striked for parody yet, but they could.
Yeah. What is it that I'm trying to think? There are musicians that will shut off a level or something that they can hear the song, but no one else could hear the song, and that's how they do the live learn.
Okay.
And I'll have to talk to
Yeah,
one of those musicians because that way you can hear the song and no one else can
I
hear
can
the song, and
I
you
can
can,
do that.
yeah.
I I got that. That's how I do them now.
Oh,
So
okay,
that's how,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I would again, I would love to see you do them again.
Yeah, so the way I was doing it before is I would just clip like from YouTube or whatever the backing track that I'm going over top of basically,
Mm-hmm.
and then I do my beeps and boops over top of it and put layers and stuff like that. But the whole time that minute and a half section of the song is playing is danger zone for DMCA stuff. So
Absolutely. DMZ.
yeah.
I wonder if it's in here. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is.
Oh man.
I know this is a lot. I'm trying to think. Uh, this one. This one. Okay, 2003, 2006, 2010, 12, 15. We're looking at the 2021. Motion pictures, literary
Yeah.
works, computer programs that enable wireless devices, contained and control. Okay, okay, get to the point. Video games in the form of computer program stuff. So this is, I mean, this is basically the 2021 is when everything got cracked down.
Yeah. It's during pandemic. It's like, oh, everybody's over on this Twitch place
Right.
using songs. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, let's get out of law for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's not do law for a minute.
If you want to know more about like DMCA stuff, there's a YouTube video with the dude from Pretzel Rocks that's really in depth and explains it a lot. It's who's it with? I wish I could think of his name right now, but I can't. So
It's okay. Pretzel Rocks guy.
oh, it's Devin Nash and Pretzel Rocks guy. It's super in depth and is really cool.
Yeah, because Pretzel Rocks is a great alternative for streamers to be able to provide music that is DMCA safe. Okay, so hard left.
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
Sure.
We forgot to talk about something cool. You were talking about birds, but we didn't talk about aquariums.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, aquariums. Sure. Yeah. I love aquariums. So like growing up, my mom owned a fish store.
Okay.
And so not only did I get to hang out at the fish store with all the cool fish and stuff, we had a 180-gallon tank at our house. That had some cool fishes in it.
Yeah. And what kind of fish?
The coolest one is probably the lionfish.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, I just keep saying million. I typed in lion, but it keeps going to million. So let's just look up lionfish in itself.
Yeah, lionfish is its own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. This one.
And then, yeah, and I had in my room I had a 30-gallon tank, like for as long as I can remember. Oh yeah, that's what a lionfish looks like. So they are venomous spines on the back, and they basically eat goldfish. But ours would eat these pellet things too, so we didn't have to feed him live goldfish too much. But he got goldfish from time to time.
As like little treats for doing tricks, or like
No,
just because
no,
you.
no, just it was great to get him to eat the pellets though, because like I think that gave him more nutrition than just the uh the goldfish.
Yeah, absolutely. Um. So okay, so your favorite was the lionfish.
And I had a lionfish in my room as a kid. So I had a venomous fish in my room as a 11-year-old, 12-year-old.
That checks out. Checks out.
Right. So I don't know what that says about my folks.
I don't think. I mean, to be honest, that's the safest venomous thing you could have.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
Unless you're sticking your hand in the tank,
Sure. Yeah.
you're not susceptible to like a
Right. So
lizard or
yeah,
something.
mine was a dwarf lionfish. See if they have that on there. Be curious.
Okay, so this is going as different lionfish. So
Oh,
I
okay.
like the names of the lionfish, like for instance, is this,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm not gonna pronounce.
Okay. Yeah.
But let's see if the word dwarf is in here. Dwarf lionfish. Here we go. This be it. Is that it?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's kind of. Mine looked more like the other one, but had like so the spines had, yeah, like were more connected together.
Okay.
It looked more like the other ones though.
Okay.
This was about this size. The fins look kind of like that.
Okay, yeah, because it said turkey fishes or
Yeah, yeah,
pygmy
turkey fish. Yep.
lionfishes.
Yeah, I think in Animal Crossing they're turkey fish.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, what? I don't know that. I had no
Uh,
idea. That's funny.
but yeah, I had like horseshoe crabs and a lot of cool stuff.
How was it like with your parents or your mom in a fish store? Like, what was that like?
She owned a fish store with, it was kind of just a side business thing. It wasn't full, like that's where our income came from or
Right.
anything. It was more of a hobby business, but it was super cool. Like, custom shelving built with the tubing system for all the air things to go through it. So I helped with a bunch of that stuff, and it's just
Wow.
cool.
Yeah. What's that?
It's just interesting to a kid, right? A 10 to 12-year-old kid,
Yeah.
like seeing all that stuff, and they get newts and
Ooh.
like piranha or whatever, sharks.
What what is that TV show that they build not shark tanks. They build fish
Yeah,
tanks.
yeah,
That I watched that a lot. I thought that was absolutely fascinating. I mean, there's cake decorating and there's all that stuff, but like to watch somebody build something for wildlife, to understand that much about the fish and understand that much about the environment. I love that show, but
yeah.
I can't even think of the name of it.
Yep.
Okay, so mom owned a fish store. What
Crazy coincidence, I used to help them with their website stuff.
Creative Commons?
No, the
fish store. Oh,
show.
okay.
Yeah,
That's funny.
no, the TV show
No way.
for my old job. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Little known facts about Erock people. He's super
I think I'm
savvy.
past NDA.
Yeah. So creating websites and stuff. So what tech savviness, what specifically are you editor? Are you designer? What is your role that you would normally play?
So yeah, just like website tech support stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, I did like some PHP and some MySQL and SQL stuff, and it's been a while since I dove into that stuff, so I could jump back in at some point if I wanted to. But
yeah, what got you into computers and stuff?
My dad had computers very early. I had computers very early. I had a Commodore 64. My dad had an Atari 800. It was a good day. Commodore 64 day was a good day.
So what is it?
Home computer, Commodore 64.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
how
you could.
I know it as the
Yeah,
home computer and not
yeah.
as a Commodore.
So, yeah, loading up. Yeah, yeah, an Atari 1200 XL.
Let me see.
So yeah, we had an Atari 800, and that's what my dad had, and all kinds of cool stuff on that too. This I had like a little disk drive, a separate disk drive for it, and I wrote programs on this thing. I copied programs from books and stuff. It was cool.
Interesting. So this is like before the this is a game cartridge. Is what it
Yeah,
looks.
that.
Okay.
Oh, is that for?
It
Yeah,
says
yeah.
for
There's
Radar
there's
Rat and
some.
International Soccer.
Yeah, there's some game cartridges. Most of my games were on floppy disks, though.
That's what I was about to ask if this was kind of
Mhm.
equal to floppy disk.
I didn't do a lot of cartridge game stuff on, but they did have a cartridge slot on the Commodore.
Okay.
Yeah, but most of the stuff was floppy disk stuff. So a lot of Broaderbund print shop.
Say what that
So a
is?
lot of print shop.
Desktop
The
publishing software.
heck yeah.
Okay. Ghostbusters was really
Oh
one.
yeah.
I'm reading
I
this.
spent way too much making banners stuff on a dot matrix printer.
Interesting. It's so weird. So real quick,
Some birthday cards and all kinds of stuff.
I recognize this.
Yeah, right there. That's the stuff. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. I'm making like you said, birthday cards.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I
And
used it for.
banners.
That's what I
Because
used
the
it for.
pages were perforated and connected, so you could make a banner and it was already all connected. I made all kinds of stupid banners. I wish I had like pictures of it so I could remember what the heck I made with them, but I made so much stupid stuff.
That's funny. Yeah, wow. I like I said, I remember making that's all I can make. I mean, if I'm not going to age myself, but if this was in 1996, I was fairly young, but I know that there was later, Prince Up 2.0 for Windows 7. What about like Windows 95? Is that where this is? This was followed in 1993. If it was around Windows 95.
Yeah, it was not the new print shop when I did it. It was the print shop.
The print shop. Yeah.
The original. There's no deluxe about it, but
that's fair. Okay, so I mean, creating things left and right, both artsy and vocally, musically, man of many talents.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember? What your first game was?
Yeah, Pong.
You really had Pong?
We had a TV that had Pong paddles.
Oh my
god!
gosh.
It would plug into the back of it. It was a Magnavox television that had Pong paddles that plugged into the back.
Wow. I'm trying to see. Is
this? It probably will come up on this page. Potentially, not that.
Not that. Pong TV IV Sears Pong sequel was one of many consoles that flooded the market. Oh, is this this here?
No, it didn't have a separate box. That it was built into the TV. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, but that's seriously.
Yeah, so it was that, and then Atari. I think I bought the Atari from a rummage sale, so the Atari wasn't new. I think I had the Commodore 64 before I had the Atari.
I'm curious.
So I think I was playing games on the Atari or the Commodore 64 before the Atari 2600.
Okay.
But I bought Atari 2600 from a garage sale with a bunch of games and played Pac-Man all the time.
So North America came out in 1977, lifespan to 1992.
Yeah, I didn't get it till 80s, probably 80 something. I don't know what.
Right. Equivalent to it was 109. $189, equivalent to $850. Wow. So, one video game, one console now, if you want to get like the Switch, is like what, $500, $300, $500?
Yeah, just under 300 for the
Just
Switch,
under
I think, right now.
300, right? And this price was $850 equivalent. That's insane.
Like if you equivalent to like if you go with like inflation or whatever.
Right.
Like all that.
So it was $189 equivalent to $850 in 2021. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then from there it was what did I get after that? I think the NES was next.
Mm-hmm.
And then Super NES. And then PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64.
So what was your earliest like game though? Not game system, but like games that you were playing?
Would be on the Commodore 64. So there was a game called Below the Root. Oh my god, I can still hear the music for it.
There you go.
It was kind of cool.
Won't let me size anymore. Later kept known.
That is, I think, based on a novel too. I think.
Yeah, example of what later became known as the Metroidvania genre.
Yeah, it was. You get these shubas, and you can do little glides down if you get to a high enough branch on the tree and fly to a section you couldn't get to before, and you have to find your way around. And I don't remember what else you did, but I remember the word shuba.
That works. There was the screenshot below the root showing the character Narek in his home and demonstrating the platform game like perspective, typical appearance of his characters and command menu.
Yeah, that's not the same version.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks a little different on 64.
So it didn't.
But yeah, like it's similar. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah, Commodore 64 version.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. See, that one's flying right there. Shuba, and so flying down.
Yeah, Shuba.
Man,
there
the
you go.
sounds of this. Yeah, does it say it?
Yeah, Shuba.
How does it spell it? Where's it at?
SHUBA.
Yeah.
A primary importance was a Shuba, a flying squirrel-like garment, which allows the character to glide diagonally instead of falling. And
how many years ago was this? And I still know Shuba from this game.
This is from 1984.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't even remember my first video game, to be honest with you. Microsoft Bob. Like, I don't know. Solitaire. I don't know.
A lot. We would play like arcade games at the bowling alley. So like before I even had console stuff, we'd play some arcade stuff too.
Okay. If you had to go to the arcade and you had a bunch of quarters, what was the first game you played?
Well, depending on the time that it happened, I put a lot of quarters into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I put a lot of quarters into Russian Attack. I put a lot of quarters into Popeye. I put a lot of quarters into Dragon's Lair.
Oh wow, okay.
There was a game called Kicker. I put a lot of quarters in. I liked it. Dragon's Space Lair. Lair.
Oh. I have Dragon Slayer. Dragon's Lair. Nope, Lair. Stop it with the I. Stop it. Video game transfers. Okay.
There you go.
I wanted to look this up because I was not aware of what it was.
Yeah, this is the Don Bluth game that basically there isn't a lot to the gameplay. There was a game for PlayStation that came out called Brain Dead 13 that kind of worked the same way. It was like cartoon. It was like playing a cartoon. So it was like cartoon things that would happen, and you just had to pick the right direction or action at the right time on the screen to proceed through it.
Like DDR?
Sort of. It was just really timed, and they would do this thing where there'd be all these levels that you go through, and they'd be kind of randomized a bit, and then they would have flipped screens where it's like inverted, or right to left's flipped,
Mm-hmm.
so that they could basically just mix your mess up that way too.
Oh God, that sounds
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
down, right, left, and attack. Gameplay consists of reacting to on-screen button prompts when trigger pre-drawn success or failure animations, essentially a forerunner of the modern QuickTime event. Perfect run with no deaths lasts no more than 12 minutes. In total, the game is 22 minutes or 50,000 frames of animated footage,
Yeah.
including individual death scenes and game over scenes.
Yeah. I would watch through that. It's been a while.
At least you
Be
can
cool.
buy the app for 99 cents 40 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, you can so there was that, and then they did Space Ace, and then there's like
Saw
1 and
that.
2 or 3. I don't know, but it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just I love the animation of it all. The gameplay is less than desired, but it was neat.
That's interesting. Now
They were Laserdisc as well. That's right. I think I think even the arcade machines were Laserdisc.
Arcade version screenshot. Interesting. That's Space Ace. Oh yeah, look at that. Some floppies for you.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so video games, aquariums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Erockapella. Now let's go into a few things that you don't like, and we'll end on something nice. So I was really curious why you hate wind chimes.
Okay. So I will tell you, because so most wind chimes that you buy are not like tuned. They don't make a chord. They don't make music to me. Like, I think there are some you can get that are,
Mm-hmm.
and I would not mind that one bit. But most of them around here are just some dude cut a bunch of tubes to different levels and tied them together with some beer cans and like a spinning thing. So it's a little beer can, I don't know what, but those drive me insane because it's like dissonant tones. Like, I don't mind a dissonant like noise here and there if it's like on purpose, but when it's not on purpose,
Right.
I can't. It bothers me. It gives me a problem. It's like OCD of the ears.
I get it. I do. My mom had huge wind chimes out in the front, and I hated them. Because they never, it was like going from low to high, then to middle to high, then the low to middle. Like, there was never a line of like notes. Everything was just chaos.
Like, if it, you love wind chimes.
And that's why we don't have wind chimes. Because I hate wind chimes 100%. And he loves them. I can't do it. No, we had wind chimes on the back of our apartment, and I could barely hear them, but he could hear them. So that way, it was kind of like a compromise. I'm sure if he loves wind chimes, we'll end up getting them. But I probably would only get like the wooden ones, so that way they're not as loud. The dome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna say the bamboo-ish ones.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll
on brand.
Help. Oh, that would help. Yeah. Okay, next one would be Jello.
Oh God. It's the texture that should not exist.
Yeah.
It's like the texture of chunky spoiled milk. So yeah, the only way you're getting Jello in me is if I'm already very inebriated and somebody brought Jello shots.
Yeah.
And I'm not letting it hit my tongue. It's just going back
down the hatch.
Chased.
Yeah, you just pinky and down the hatch.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you like Japanese food?
I'm live in Boringtown, USA, so we don't have a lot of, fun foods like that around, but I would try a lot of it.
There's one thing called seaweed salad, and I would say to you, probably don't get it.
Oh, do they use some kind of little... So like I don't do tapioca pudding because there's texture things in that I don't do, but...
Seaweed salad. Okay, so it looks like this. And it doesn't really look like this. Usually
Mm.
it's skinnier. Like it's more
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
noodly.
mm-hmm.
Um
Like there's sardines in it.
I don't know what's in it.
Mm.
Seaweed salad images. Here we go. This. This is what it looks
Okay.
like. And I've been told that, or I've always told people that if you don't like Jello, then you should not eat them
Okay. Okay.
because they have the consistency of Jello worms.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
But I try to tell people that if they don't like Jello, don't get Jello worms. However, if you do like Jello or you can stand Jello, seaweed salad is phenomenal. The flavors are to die for.
That's seaweed's super good for you too if it's seaweed.
Absolutely. Um okay, Iraq, we're going to go to our next section if you don't mind.
The,
If
from
you
seaweed.
We're going to go to the next dislike that you don't care
Oh,
for, if that's
I
okay.
no, I thought we were going to the ocean. Seaweed to ocean.
No, we're going to skip around just
Your voice got really weird
Why is
right
it
now.
weird, Iraq? What's wrong?
You're not. I can't. I don't do this.
Tell me why you hate ASMR.
If you start licking the mic, I'm ending this call.
No, I'm not that creepy. All right, so tell me why you hate SMR. Is it the same reason that you kind of hate wind chimes, or what's the?
Yeah, you're right. It's an audible. No way. Yeah, this is not what I'm supposed to hear. I'm not supposed to hear these things.
In that tone, yeah.
It feels there's a word I'm looking for. It just feels I understand. Okay, so I want to preface this all with like I understand that ASMR helps people relax. Like there's some people that get like the tingles or something from them, and it can like put them in a relaxed state and is actually helpful for mental health and stuff. But for me, it's quite the opposite. It stresses me out. I feel like I don't know. It feels condescending is not the right word, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it being played to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just gives me creepy vibes.
It's 100% creepy vibes to me. I completely agree
Creepy
with
vibes.
you. Yeah. Let me see. No, so that's not what I wanted to find. Yeah, relaxed nature of ASMR is sexual arousal. That's another thing too. It's like erotica.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't do that.
No, yeah. So I'm saying it doesn't do that for me. Like, if anything, it does the total opposite of me. But like, I don't want somebody whispering in my ear like very closely, and I'm like, okay, we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
This is not happening.
Yeah.
Let's see, triggers.
Yeah, the introvert in me says we're done.
Yeah, 100%. For the clinical, tactile, contemporary earlier. I'm curious to hear if there's reception. No, they were saying it's a development attitudes towards synesthesia. For years it was a myth, and then in the 1990s people came up with a reliable way of measuring it. I don't know.
Oh man, I want to know what colors Galvos hears or sees when he hears it.
Ira, cover your ears. Hey, okay. Galvos. All right, and then last thing you said, seaweed of the ocean. It was next on my list. It said wind chimes ASMR, so I naturally just went to that. But let's end on the ocean because you like friggin' fish and you like aquariums and you hate them. And at least you dislike seagulls. At least we have that in common. But
I'm just terrified of the ocean because of what it holds, or what I don't know that it holds, or like how, it's a lot. It's like,
But are you afraid of space?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I'd be terrified in space.
Because I
Absolutely.
often wonder if people who are afraid of the ocean are also afraid of space, just because vastness and inability to
I think
understand the vastness.
lack of confidence in systems. Like I grew up in watching the Challenger explode on TV. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was in class. They rolled out the TV and
Oh
we
my
watched the
god.
Challenger explode. It's like, okay, I don't want to be an astronaut.
Right, right. So what about, I mean, to me, the ocean, I grew up next to it. So like I until I almost died body surfing, I really
Mhm.
enjoyed it. But now I don't screw with the ocean.
There's just a lot that can go wrong, like undercurrents or like some like uh like Bermuda Triangle stuff, like where now it's like potentially like I don't know even what I don't even want to get into that, but like whatever's going on there
Right.
that causes stuff to crash there or whatever.
I did snorkel like a champ,
Did
and
you?
yeah, I did. I snorkeled like a champ, and the reason why is because the water was mostly calm. I could see the floor, and there were people around me. So I I wasn't worried about, like, the scary part for me was getting out of the water, because I didn't want to like trip, fall back in, drown, die, the
Yeah.
usual.
I'm surrounded by freshwater lakes, so like ocean is so like foreign to me. Like
Right.
I've only spent a little time in the ocean as far as like actually standing in it.
Mhm.
Like uh like once on a cruise there was an island with the awesome beach, but it was like super shallow and like
Mhm.
there was nothing but sand and water and you could see, pretty far in it, so I didn't feel like anything was going to get me.
Right. And
But
that's the ocean that I
that's
like.
yeah. So,
But yeah, I was always obsessed with the Titanic as a kid,
okay, yeah.
and so because of the ocean, like just
It's
because
just
of how crazy it is.
it's just so grand. It's like we're such like ants on a giant space, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
Total noobs to
right.
the ocean. um, but yeah, so I wanted to end on a positive note, and I wanted to see what your views as far as being a streamer on Twitch and building your community.
Hmm.
So you again do a rockapella, and you do go out and do D&D with Alan and us, and you do go and do Farmer Erock on YouTube, and
Mhm.
you make these songs for your viewers and your
Yeah.
mods, and just what does Twitch and doing this streaming mean to you?
It's I feel like I guess my idea behind it was like it was fun to do at first, just kind of just playing games on the internet, doing cool stuff, but now it become more like let's have a space where we can hang out and avoid the stupid crap that's happening in the world right now. So we can have this. We don't have to talk about that stuff. We can just, talk about shared like interests, give place for people to hang out and relax,
Mm-hmm.
be themselves.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good. I'm happy to be a part of your community. I'm happy to be your mod.
Yeah.
And very happy to know you, Iraq. You are an amazing dude with obviously a lot
Same.
of different talents, and it's been an honor working with you and to continue working with you. I didn't know
Thank
how else to say that
Yeah.
because
I agree. Like
Okay.
you've inspired me as well, like with all your success with intermittent fasting stuff and your musical prowess
Thank you.
is quite impressive.
Oh, I
So I hope you
appreciate
keep doing
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Thank you for everything. How do you feel about tater tots?
I'm for them.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
Grammarly? Are you for it?
Yeah, I'm for that too. Yeah. You got to know how to spell tater tots. No, you don't have to. You could just eat them. You don't got to know how to spell them. That good thing they didn't spell tater tots kookaburra because we'd be screwed.
Oh man, You're the best. I'm so happy to know you. And next week we will have Misfit on here. We're going to be
Ooh.
doing some good talks with her. She's also part of the community that kind of came over. Did she come over? Yeah, she came over from Mixer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've known her for a long, long time. And thank you again, Erock, for
Thank
everything.
you very much.
And I hope you had fun. And
Absolutely.
we are going to do a raid real quick, so please stick around. I have to mute you for a second, so hold on, because I have to mute the site. Copy. Oh, I can still hear you. That's
Hmm?
good. That's good. Okay, we're gonna raid Alchemutation, formerly known as Alchemuation, formerly known as Alchemutation Studios. We are gonna go ahead and give him a nice big raid for Wiki Wednesday, and see what's up with him. Again, thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. Misfit next week, and we will talk to you soon. Goodbye.